The ones empaths. I hope the title didn't trigger anyone in a negative way, as I've used the word fiend, because drug addiction is no laughing matter. People that are reliant upon substances of any kind, it's no joking matter. It's a hard battle. Even like comparing alcohol, people that are reliant on alcohol. My mum was an addict. She was an alcoholic. It's what actually took her in the end, the alcoholism, through the pain of what she'd done, through the pain of her regrets. But, my heart is there for addicts and people that I find it a hard battle. Like me, for example, I'm addicted to nicotine. So I use a vape, a low nicotine dose. I managed to wean off it and get down to a low nicotine dose of 6 milligram. But I'm still an addict, right? I'm still reliant upon that stimulant, right? But I hope you understand. So any of you that do take drugs or anything like that, don't worry, you're going to hit a point in time, just like I did, because I've made mistakes in my life, and you're going to hit that point when you dig your heels in the sand and you do a 180 and you say, no, do you know what? I'm not going to do this no more. So when that time comes, the time comes. Until then, it is what it is, and you're going to have to take the good out of the good out of the bad. But why the reason why I've brought up this comparison is because the narcissist is like an addict. They fiend for grade A supply. They are reliant upon it. They get a euphoric rush. And the thing is, after the narcissistic abusive relationship, I found myself going on long walks, and in England anyway, you get like communities of addicts. In each area that you go, there will be communities of addicts. So what I tended to notice is that when I come back to my hometown after being with the narcissist, there was a lot of addicts around. So on my journeys, there's a lot of homeless and addicts, and I found myself actually spending time with them, helping them in some ways, and doing stuff. And obviously these people, they rely on the rush, whether it's crack cocaine, because crack cocaine is not physically addictive, but it's psychologically addictive, and you're chasing that rush. Or compare it to something like an opiate, like a heroin, where your body actually craves for it. I believe that the narcissistic is more on the end of the spectrum, with the body craving the high. That's what the comparison I would give. And this is what it's like for a narcissist when they've met a grade A supply in their lifetime. Please press the like and the subscribe button. Help your brother out. It'll take 2 seconds of your time. Thank you. But the narcissist, you see, what you've got to understand is, after they've been with you, regardless if they discarded you, you had to cut them off. If you know you are a grade A source of supply, and some of my other videos will help you understand that, but if you know you're a grade A source of supply, right, then you've got to understand it doesn't matter what person they go with in the future, it's never going to equate to you. So they're like a fiend. They will fiend for the supply that you gave them. Supply is like a drug to them. It gives them a euphoric rush. It gives them fuzzy feelings. They don't get those feelings with other supplies. And this is often why narcissists never let go of a grade A supply. They never let go. They can't let go. They can't get over it, and they never heal from it. And they end up being old, lonely, and, decomposing, like, where their body's starting to change, wither away. They're starting to stink. Like, this is what happens to the narcissist without grade A source of supply, because when they stumbled upon you, I made it in my video earlier, I said eagle, but I meant vultures. Like they preyed on us like a swarming vulture in the sky when they saw us, like a decaying carcass. I mentioned it earlier in my other video if you didn't check that out. But this is what they are. They're very opportunistic, and they saw us. They saw how good we are. They saw how kind we are. They saw how empathetic we are, and they exploited all of our goodness and obtained a supply source from it. And you've got to understand that they die out. When you haven't heard from the narcissist in a long time, or they're not posting their new relationship with their new supply. They go through the phase where they'll throw the new supply in your face, but then they still hit the point when they realize, okay, they begin to regret that. They begin to regret actually revealing who they downgraded with. Because if you look beneath the veil, you'll realize, wow, that's what you're about. You literally go with anyone. You are fortunate to have me. You were fortunate. You was very fortunate to have me in your life for the time that you did. And this is the kind of mindset I want you to adopt. This is the kind of mindset I want you to have. This is the kind of stance I want you to have upon the situation. You've got to see their body craves your supply. They need your supply to survive. It is like someone shooting up heroin and you've got, you know, pure heroin on one side, and then you've got the mix heroin, and you give it to an addict and you say, all right, try that. All right, now try that. The addict is going to go and say, look, get me some more of that pure heroin. This is what the narcissist is like. They are fiends for the pure source of supply, the grade A potent supply. They cannot survive without it. They can't function without it. They ruminate you because they need you. Like just as I've mentioned previously before, they will make you, their new partner, try to look like you. They will try and make their new partner, their new supply, act like you. They will try and teach the new supply things that you knew about. They will try and turn the new supply into a version of you, right? Because they're missing that grade A potent supply that you gave them. They do this. They do this in the bedroom sexually. They'll do this with, if you cooked a certain meal, they'll suggest, they're very good with the power of suggestion, They're very good with the power of suggestion. Like they'll suggest something and they'll make you do it. You see, even when I look back in retrospect now, my engagement was done through suggestion. I was such a pure-hearted soul that they enabled me. They suggested that we get engaged, which then enabled me. They were like, they're very good with the power of suggestion, which ended up making me appease the narcissist and proposing and getting engaged. But that was through what they wanted. It wasn't actually what I wanted when I look back. I always knew that I was better than the narcissist. They had me with my heart because I felt bad for them. I always knew deep down, and now I look back on my gut feelings, I was always better than the narcissist. Before I met them, when I met them, I was always better than them. I always deserved better. And they was very fortunate to have me for the time that they did. And the narcissist in your life is very fortunate for the times they had you in their lives. This is what you've got to understand. You've got to adopt this way of thinking. You've got to understand that you are a potent grade A supply. You've got to know your value. You've got to know your self-worth. And it's been a journey for me where I've practiced self-love. I've like, the reason why I've drawn this comparison is because I've spent time around addicts, crack addicts, heroin addicts, homeless. I've spent time since I come back to my hometown where I've been around them, They all know me now. Like, they all know me. If I'm out and about, especially going a few years back, when I would go on my travels, they would all hail me down, They all knew me. They all knew me as that person, right? And, this is what the narcissist is like. They're dependent upon this euphoric rush. They're reliant upon this euphoric rush. I'll reiterate it again. Like they need that rush that you give them, and it's only you that gives them that rush. It's only you. It's why they will make fake profiles. It's why they will stalk you. It's why they will do these things, because they get into some minuscule little remnants of supply from you, which is even more powerful. Like, you could have no contact, right? No contact, no physical contact, not actually in the same space as them, and they're communicating with you through a fake profile, and they'll actually be more aroused from doing that. They'll get more of a euphoric rush than they would being fully intimate and engaging with their new supply. That's how serious it is with the potent supply and grade A supply. They will take any remnants of it, any remnants they can gather. They're like scavengers for grade A potent supply. They will and at the same time, as much as they'll be like hanging on to you, they'll be trying to stay around you like a bad smell, right? They'll also be searching high and low, wide and far, all over the place for someone to beat you, But then they realize that they can never get it because we're unique and there's only one of us with a unique eye print, unique voice pattern, unique fingerprint, right? You know, our handprint is the print that is from our mother's womb. You know, they're never going to find another you. You're very unique. You're a potent grade A supplier, so never fall victim to believe in this rubbish. I need you to adopt this mind state for sanity reasons. You need to adopt this mind state that I'm trying to express to you in this video. You need to understand your value. Some of this stuff I'm doing, if this is fresh wounds with you, you won't understand what I'm saying now. But I promise you that within time, what I'm saying to you will reveal itself. You will see the sunshine through the hurricane. I promise you. And you will get to this way of thinking. And then some of us get to this way of thinking quicker than others. But we're all on a healing journey. And we all need to take it very seriously, right? And you need to really look in the mirror and understand that, yes, you tried everything. You know, you may have chased after them. You may have done all of that. Remember, you can look in the mirror and be proud that you actually tried to rectify a relationship. They were moving the goalpost, but they moved that goalpost a bit too far. They tried to run with that goalpost a bit too far, and it eventually catches up with them, and it backfires. Their discard plans backfire. Everything backfires on them. Their envy, when they used to envy you, it backfires on them. The way they used to resent you for your achievements and what you do with your life backfires on them. Trust me, all of the pain and misery they tried to, project into your life backfires on them. It's not all sunshine and rainbows where the narcissist is. You've got to stop looking through the lens of the narcissist. Trust me, they're relying upon you and they're fiending for you wherever they are now. They're fiending for that grade A potent supply that they're going to never get their hands on. If you have door slammed, bolted and welded it shut, and they know they can never have another opportunity with you in this life or the next life, it's over. It's done. They can never, there's nothing they can do. There's not one thing that they could do on earth to actually get you back, right? They will actually become scavengers and they will search for remnants of your supply. That could possibly be spying on you. That could possibly be, speaking to you on fake accounts. That could possibly be, looking at the trinkets that they've kept from you, from your relationship, because they always keep trinkets, narcissists. If they've held on to possessions that are yours, that's the closest thing they're going to ever get to you. And they will hold to that, religiously. They will hold firm to that stuff. So they will hold that stuff so close to their heart, right? Because it's the only way they can get any form of potent supply. Believe me, they're spying on your social medias. They're spying on your stuff. They're getting aroused. That's the only arousal that they can get. That's the closest they can get to a grade A supply of stalking. So make sure you haven't left your door. If you've left your doors wide open and you've left them, you're willy-nilly, willing to accept them back in your life, they're not going to come through that door. We always have the final discard. It does not matter if they discarded you. It does not matter if you chased after them. We always have the final discard. The empath has the final discard. When an empath decides to door slam, bolt and weld it shut, it's game over. There's no turning back. We're very kind people. We're very forgiving people. We try to problem solve. We try to fix situations. We do that. We go through the whole 9 yards. We tried that. But once we door slam, and you may not have fully door slammed yet, but believe me, it's inevitable. You're going to hit the point, because if you're dealing with a toxic narcissist, you're going to hit the point when you door slam them and you don't let them back, and you're going to see the dynamics change in an instant. Trust me. Even if you haven't spoken to the narcissist, it creates an energy shift. They'll begin to get worried. They'll begin to realize you're not sitting on the shelf. They'll begin to realize you're not waiting for their return. Once they know this, they become desperate. Once they know that the door slam, bolt and welded shutters in place, they will, scavenge through any bits of remnants that can remind them of you. Old photos that they've still got. They've got old photos, old videos, old clothes, all these trinkets. They've got these trinkets. That's all they'll have left of us. So do you know what? So let them clutch to that like straws, because you know they're very desperate. They're very, very desperate. So just understand my comparison today. The narcissist is like an addict. You know, they fiend for your grade A supply. They're reliant upon the euphoric rush you give them. And, you know, they basically, they get little hints of this euphoric rush from seeing what you're doing, stalking you, spying on your social media, you know, going up to their trophy cabinet with all the trinkets and looking at one of your trinkets and thinking, right, yeah, you know, that's the closest they're gonna get. That's all they can ever do. So anyway, thank you for watching today. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you would like to donate to the channel, you can find a link in the description box. And if you would like a one-to-one session with myself, you can also find a link in the description box. So anyway, oh, also, yeah, I've got the spiritual channel. If you would like to check that out, the link for that is also in the description box. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon.